Hi, welcome to Duncan's Debates. I'm Duncan Dunley, and today we will be debating the issue of technology's influence on modern-day language. We have brought in two experts, Jessica Mertes and Guth, to discuss this prominent issue in society today. Let's bring them out. Here's Jessica Mertes from Colorado. Hi, Jessica. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Duncan?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking.
Of course.
Now, Jessica, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Jessica Mertes. I went to Yale University, where I obtained a degree in Human Development and Social Intervention. I graduated in 2007, and since then, I have been studying the effects technology and social media has had on society's language. This evolution of communication has led me to believe that our society does not receive benefits from the world of advanced technology.
Thank you, Jessica. Now to bring out Guth, who will be defending the other perspective.
Hi, Allie. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Duncan. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Now, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Guth. I went to Harvard University, where I obtained my degree in social development. I graduated in 2006, and since then I have been studying the positive impacts our modern-day language has had on our society today. Language has been evolving through the means of technology and social media. However, I believe this development has been for the better.
Kudos to both of you. Those are very impressive background, ladies. Now go ahead and sit down over there, and I will give you a prompt. Now, ladies, here's your prompt. As technology continues to evolve and change language, please debate whether or not it benefits or sets back society's future communications.
From personal experience, I'd like to reference Facebook. Over the past 5 years, I've been a member of Facebook, and I've managed to reconnect with the majority of my classmates from junior high all the way through college.
How well can you really get to know someone through technology?
Well, I'm saying that I've reconnected with past friends. We can share what we've been up to lately and rebuild relationships.
I don't see how typing on a keyboard without any face-to-face communication suffices as reconnected friendships.
See, I don't believe that face-to-face connection is necessary to have an important or worthy conversation.
I see younger people connecting over websites like Facebook, not only reconnecting, but meeting new people and forming intimate relationships. How do you see this as okay?
Well, social medias have given children a chance to branch out and meet new friends. Relationships need to start somewhere.
Speaking of, I'd like to talk about dating. How do you describe the way not only teens, but young adults replace the word love with a heart symbol? Does that symbol actually have the same meaning?
Of course, in some cases, but others not. Everything is in context, and some teens may abuse the technology barrier sitting on their screens and sending love letters. But in a way of learning and developing, it's helpful.
Well, in my research, I've never come across claims that online relationships were healthy and acceptable. Bonds are formed with in-person interactions, not with short, abbreviated texting conversations.
See, that's where I think you're wrong. Abbreviations only help people get messages across quicker. I don't see how that's a bad thing.
It's a bad thing because conversations lose meaning when people don't have to write out how they're feeling. For example, LOL. How many times have you typed LOL and actually been laughing out loud on the other side of the screen?
Jessica, I think that this is more figurative than literal.
How can a person know that it's figurative when they cannot even see your face? Furthermore, how does online conversations, i.e. texting or direct messaging, be put in the same category as face-to-face conversations when people can't even be bothered to type out full phrases, sentences, and emotions?
See, I use the abbreviations IMY and ILY, and obviously when I'm communicating with that person that I love or miss, I sincerely mean that I love or miss them. One can be equal facetious face-to-face as they can be with technology, and I do know that from personal experience.
I refuse to believe that a person will receive the same meaning when they are being told in person that they are loved, rather than being texted ILY.
IHY.
That's a perfect example of a professional adult using slang and improper grammar that will only make you less credible.
Alright, well, I'd like to move on to how today's language can be altered by screen language.
Just to clear things up for the audience, by screen language, do you mean anything typed on electronic devices as a means of communication?
Yes, and I've noticed that you have used certain language that has become more common since the advancement of technology.
What?
Well, that's a perfect example of using screen language in face-to-face communication while we're in this professional environment.
A fragment is not an example of screen language.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
As fragments fit into conversations in person, and acronyms are equal in screen language as devices.
My main concern with the excessive use in slang in modern day society is the path it's going to lead to. The path leading away from proper grammar.
See, there's a flaw in your argument, and you're jumping to false conclusions when you think that the change in language is for the worse. However, in reality, it is evolving to better our society.
Are you trying to tell me that adding the phrase "bay" to the Oxford English Dictionary is bettering our society?
Well, I think if we never added new words to the dictionary, we would still be talking like cavemen.
True, but how are these useless words such as "bay" and "bud tender" going to evolve our language and widen a person's vocabulary in regards to helping them later in life? Words that were added to our language since the Dark Ages have clearly helped our society, but I have no doubt in my mind that "bay" and "bud tender" will never help a person obtain a high vocabulary level that will help them later on in life. For example, a job interview.
Well, see, I think that there's a time and a place for every word that we use in our language, and I do not think that those words that we mentioned that were added into the dictionary would necessarily be used in a job interview.
Well, what about your image after you get that job and you still end up using that language in a work environment? Everything is situational.
A 40-year-old man who has a well-established professional career will not be texting and instant messaging to the point where it becomes such a prominent way of speaking as slang as it might be with a teenager today.
Well, with the way we're raising our current generation, it appears that by the time they are 40 years old, they will be so much immersed in this way of communication, it will be a problem.
But also, you've seen the loss in jobs due to technology, and I think by the time our generation now are 40-year-olds, we will be having jobs that require more face-to-face communication with computers and screens rather than other humans.
And you're okay with that?
That's just how things are now.
I don't believe that will be beneficial to all people having such easy access to a world of knowledge.
Now, Jessica, are you telling me that Google, Bing, and Apple products have not greatly impacted your life?
Well, okay. It has definitely impacted my life. However, I do not believe that it is necessarily for the better. You see, when a person types a question into the internet and an answer pops up immediately, that loses the significance of truly learning something.
I generally do agree with that, but I do have a tool that I personally use a lot, and so do you, and so does everyone in this audience, and that is spell check. This is something that not everyone only uses but relies on. This has set a higher expectation for the society, as there's no longer an excuse for someone to spell something wrong or have improper grammar.
Well, okay, I agree that is one benefit to technology has on language. However,
OMG, that was fantabulous, ladies. Great points from both sides. Now I think it's about time that we let our audience members call in a question to ask you. Please call 1-800-523-8415. Ooh, I think I'm getting something. Hello? You're on with Duncan Dunley from Duncan's Debates. Who am I speaking with? Awesome, Sarah. How are you doing? Well, that's just dandy. Now, what would you like to ask these beautiful ladies? All right, great question, Sarah. Jessica and Allie, that question was, how has modern day language affected music today? Well, I believe music goes in and out of style due to current culture, and it just so happens that lately technology has been a huge part of our culture. Therefore, technology has a great effect on music's evolution.
I agree with you and believe that technology has helped evolve the music industry. However, modern day language has had a negative effect on music, forcing it to become less wholesome.
Sarah, I just want to say that there's always been a huge mix of genres and artists, and the fact that there is a lot of unwholesome music nowadays is due to the listener's choice, not overall their culture.
I guess I finally agree with you on something, Allie.
I'm glad.
Alright, ladies, I think Sarah should be satisfied with those answers. And I think we are running out of time. It has been great having you, and thank you for coming, and thank you all for watching.
I'm sorry, Duncan, but Jessica had to use the restroom, but thank you for having us.
Well, everyone, this is Duncan Dunley signing off now. Have a fantabulous day.